everyone, welcome back. In my second tutorial video, I want to show you how to download material and add it into Daz Studio. There's going to be two ways to do this. Material that you buy from Daz Studio can be easily installed into the program. I'm going to show you that first. And then the second thing is showing you what to do with a third-party prop that you buy from somewhere outside of Daz Studio. And so that's a little more difficult, and it takes a couple more steps to get it into the program. And so I'd like to go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is we're going to open up Daz Studio. And so you can see, here it is. I am going to purchase a character that I've been interested in. So I'm going to go to my wish list because that's where she is. And I've been debating on this one. Interesting name, Nulpy. But she's on sale right now. But I think I'm going to get this one. I don't know what it is, but I just like this look. And so if you look at her, I'm going to get this one. I guess you call her Bilyana. And so it's important that you make sure that you get a character that fits what you have in Daz Studio. So I use primarily Genesis 8 figures. So see, it tells you right here that this figure is compatible with a Genesis 8 female, and that's what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase her. So I'm going to add her to my cart. We're going to check out. So I have purchased my figure, and once you purchase it, you're going to get to this screen here where it tells you that your order went through. And when you download Daz initially, I noticed that it's also downloading this, I guess, this control program called Daz Central. To be honest with you, I don't use it. When I bought my second computer, it downloaded with Daz. I kind of looked through it and ignored it because it was something new and I already knew how to do things without it. So if you want to play with that, I can't give you any information really about this Daz Central. I know it organizes all of your purchases and everything all into one place. What I use is this thing called Install Manager, and it makes things super easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Install Manager. You're going to have to download it. So it says you can download it right here. So you'll download Install Manager. And then once you have Install Manager, what you'll do is you'll go and you'll just open it up. So Install Manager is open, and it has three kind of things that you can look for. It's got stuff that you have just purchased that's ready to install. So here is my character that I just bought. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then I'll queue it up down here, and it'll install. Now what's really cool about Daz products is when you do this, it will automatically just put it right into Daz. It also has a list here on the far right of all of the products that you buy. Don't judge me, okay? One of my big hobbies is working with 3D art, so I have made a lot of purchases. It'll give you a list of everything that you've purchased here that's installed into Daz Studio. So as I check this, Bilyana is almost downloaded. She's at almost 90% here, so we'll just wait another minute and then I'll show you exactly what has happened. She went from ready to download to installing. So now this middle tab shows that she's installing into Daz Studio. And now she's there. So now Bilyana is my latest download, and she is ready to go. If you look at the list under content library, that's where your content is, you're going to have a list of items. One of the bars is products. So if I click on products, it'll give me an alphabetized list of all the products that I have made. So I can go into B because that's where Biljana is supposed to be. And let's see if she's there. All right, B-I. See, I don't see her. Oh, yep, there she is. So she is there. She's ready to go, and I can use her. Look at this beautiful character here. So I can click on her. We can open her up. Let's take a look really quick. Brand new character. What could I do with her? Lots of stuff. It's going to be interesting. All right, so here she is. Now, if you notice this character that I purchased, no hair, just a general character. All right. We can do a lot of different things with her. I can put different makeup on, like let's zoom into her face. She's very attractive. You can see I just made her lipstick. That's crazy lipstick. Very interesting. That is how we can get stuff into Daz. Now, the second thing I want to show you is how to download a third-party prop. And this would be a prop that you would buy or that you would get for free on a different website that's not Daz Studio. So I just happen to have one here that a patron of mine wants to use. And so I've downloaded it. It's a character called Juniper. And I'm going to show you how to get this character into Daz Studio. It's going to come in a zipped folder, most likely. So what you want to do is you want to take your folder, open it up, and extract all of the content. So I'm going to hit extract here, and I'm going to just extract all of the data from that zipped file. Okay. Now I can go back to my downloads here, and we'll see this Juniper. Now, what I have to do with these third-party props is I am going to have to manually add them in to my Daz Studio files. Now, what I've done is I've put my Daz Studio files all onto an external hard drive. It's a safety thing in case something happens to the computer, in case I lose data, I can have backup copies. Your computer, if you've downloaded Daz onto your own computer, you will have a file in your C drive under users, and go to public. And if you go to public documents, you're going to see this folder that says My Daz 3D Library. This is where you're going to add your files from your zipped file that you just opened. I'm going to do the same thing. I just happen to do it in this external drive. So I'm going to put Juniper here into my external My Daz 3D library. And so if I open this up, this folder is just going to be full of a bunch of stuff. And what you need to do is you need to make sure you manually put all the folders exactly where they need to go. Otherwise, your character will not work. So if I open up this Juniper folder, all right, I'm going to have basically 3 folders that I really need to be careful with and place on my hard drive. So if you notice, Juniper has a data folder, a people folder, and a runtime folder. The documentation folder, that doesn't matter. It's just information that you get when you purchase the character. So I don't need to do anything about documentation. But with data, people, and runtime, I have got to put these folders in the proper place. Now, if you look at your hard drive folder, that is, here, let me close this really quick. When you look at your hard drive folder, you're going to see that under My Daz 3D Library, you're going to have the same folders. You're going to have a data folder, see, data from Juniper, data in your Daz library. You're going to have a people folder down here. And then you're going to have a runtime folder down here. Now, you can't just move your folders. What you got to do is you got to open up the folders and put Juniper's information in the proper folder on your hard drive. So I'm going to open up the hard drive folders first. So let's do the data first. So I've got data. I'm going to open up the data. Now look, under data, I've got all these folders because I have a lot of information. So I'm going to click on the Juniper data and see it gives me two folders within that folder. Daz 3D and this Marcos GAB, which is the vendor name. So I've got to make sure that this data folder in my hard drive doesn't have these folders. Now I know they do because I bought two characters for this from this vendor. And so if I scroll down, you see how there's a Daz 3D folder. So I've got to open up this Daz 3D folder to put it into this Daz 3D folder. This is where people just really get into problems. So I open up that Daz. Now let's look at my hard drive. With my hard drive, that Daz 3D folder also has a Genesis 8 inside. See, it's right there. So I've got under Juniper, I've got to open up that. I'm going to have female and female eyelashes now. Oh my God, right? Hey, you got to do this if you want to get it on there correctly. So I'm going to open up Genesis 8. Look, I've got a female folder, female eyelashes, female eyelashes. So now I've got a split. Let's open up the female folder. I've got morphs. All right, so under my female folder, I open it up. Heck, what do I got? I got more morphs. So now I got to open this folder up. And then I have Marcus GAB, our vendor. So it looks like I'm almost there. So I'm going to scroll down, get my morph folder, see if I have Marcos. I'm pretty sure I do. See, I do. He's right here, Marcus GAB. So I've got one more click. Now I've got my Juniper character. So now I can come in here. Here is my Marcos GAB. If I open it up, see, oh, in my hard drive, there's no Juniper. So now I got to take this Juniper character, move her to the Marcus GAB folder on my hard drive. Now I've got to go back because we had those eyelashes, right? So I'm going to go back to the eyelash folder, open it up. I'm going to skip a couple steps here because I know that the eyelash folder is going to have morphs. I know it's going to have Marcus GAB. There's Juniper's eyelashes. So I'm going to come down, scroll down. Here's my morph folder. All right, my female, Genesis 8. All right, here's the eyelash folder. Open it up. Eyelashes have morphs. So I've got to open up morphs. There is my Marcos GAB. I'm going to take Juniper's eyelashes, put it in the correct folder. See, now I've got a character called Kara from Marcus, and I've got this Juniper. I still haven't done this. So under data, there's a Marcus GAB folder. So I got to make sure I just put everything in. So I've got to find that folder on my hard drive here. So my external hard drive, sometimes you just got to kind of have to back up. Here's my data folder. I just closed it. I'm going to open it again. And I got to find Marcus GAB. So Marcus GAB, under the data folder. For you, you're going to have a lot easier time, especially at first, because you're not going to have so many files, right? I've got a ton of files. So here's Marcus GAB. See, if I click on it, it's missing Juniper. So I'm going to add Juniper to it. Man. Okay. So now I've got this data folder. Data's done. Now I've got to open up people. All right. So on your hard drive, close. What I do is I just close the data folder, get it completely shut down, and then I'm going to find my people folder. So my people folder, if I open it up, here are all the characters that I have. And so you can think, okay, well, I just bought a Genesis 8 female character, so all of Juniper stuff is going to go under Genesis 8. So I can open up some of these folders. So there's Genesis 8 female, and see it has a whole list of files under it. So let's see what Juniper has. So if I open up people, she's going to be a Genesis 8 female. That's right. So I click on that. Characters, Marcus GAB. So I'm going to do the same thing for the hard drive. So here is people. Here is Genesis 8 female. Characters. I got to open up that. All right. So I got my characters. Marcos GAB. See, I've already got his folder because I got Kara. So I'm going to open him up. There's Juniper. So I just got to find that correct folder. Marcus GAB right there. Move Juniper into that folder. And there she is. Okay, so now I've got the people folder, and I've got one more folder, runtime. So in my Juniper folder, I'm going to open up runtime, and I'm going to see textures. These are the texture maps for your character. So I've got to add these into my hard drive. So I'm going to close everything up. See, there's my people folder. Get rid of it. If I scroll down, see here's runtime. I'm going to open up runtime, and then there's going to be a texture folder within runtime. I open up that texture folder, and we just got to match it up. So I'm looking for a Marcus GAB folder, and then there's Juniper. So let's see. Here's my runtime folder. There's my texture folder right there. I'm looking for Marcus GAB. And Marcus GAB is right here. So see if I open it up, there's no Juniper. So I'm going to take Juniper, put her into the Marcus GAB folder. Okay, so now I should have everything from Juniper installed. So there's only one way to find out. Let's go back to Daz Studio and let's see if she's here. Now, she's not going to be in these product folders because the product folders are only for Daz Studio products. So all of these products that you get from Daz Studio itself will end up in the product folders. Since I bought Juniper from a third-party vendor, I put her into my Daz Studio formats. So if you look in your files in Daz Studio, you should have a folder that says Daz Studio formats. You want to open that up, and then you're gonna. I have a list of several because I do have some stuff on the C drive. Where you will probably look is where it says My Daz 3D Library. But see, I put mine in the external drive. So I have it labeled external drive. It's right here. If I open up the folder, I will see a bunch of stuff. Now, remember where we just put her. We put her into a people folder. And so I'm going to look at my 3D or Daz 3D library, I'm going to find my people folder. I'm going to open it up. She's a Daz 8 female character. All right, so I'm going to open that up. She's a character, so I'm going to open up the characters. And now, hopefully, Juniper's there. Oh my gosh, Juniper's not there. Now, don't panic if she's not there at first. I already had Daz Studio open. So when I added all those files just a second ago, Daz Studio didn't know. So what I need to do is I just need to go back up to one of these primary folders, click on it, right-hand click, and then hit refresh. Or you can close Daz Studio and open it back up, and then she'll be there. But now she should be there under Genesis 8 female. So she's a character. Juniper, come on, Juniper. Where is Juniper? Oh, I remember. Remember that Juniper was in this folder called Marcus GAB. That's what messed me up when I downloaded her sister Kara. So if I open up Marcus GAB, here's Juniper right there. Bam, there she is. Oh man, she looks pretty good. So let's just check out what she looks like. I'm gonna move my Bilyana over and let's download or install, I should say, Juniper. Here she is right here. Let's open her up. Oh, there she is. She's got freckles. All right, so there's Juniper. Everything I put into all those files, I put them in the correct place. If you have something that you didn't put in the right spot, it'll come up with errors. It'll say error, missing files, whatever. If that happens, just go back and put those files exactly where they have to go. I know that it's a total pain in the butt, and honestly, if you know a quicker way of doing it than what I just showed you, please let me know, because I would love to have a quicker way, but this is the only way that I can reliably get a third-party figure into Daz Studio. Now she's in here. We can add hair to her. We can do whatever we want. All right, so that's going to conclude my second tutorial on how to get stuff downloaded into Daz. In my third tutorial, stay tuned, because I want to show you about this content library and talk about how you can organize this thing, because you can see how crazy it can get with all of this stuff. And so there's a few little tricks that you can do to organize your material. So until then, happy rendering, and I will see you next time. Take care.